Reading 177, Kings of Israel and Judah. 1 Kings 13 relates the reign of Jehoash and Joash, during which reign Elijah dies and territory is recovered from Aram. The reign of Amaziah of Judah is marked by his petty and his conflicts with Edom and Israel. Elaborated further in 2 Chronicles, which notes his apostasy late in life as well. The reign of the second Jeroboam to the rule Israel and his military successes predicted by Johann are found only in 2 Kings. 2 Kings 13. In the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, king of Judah, Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and he reigned 17 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and followed the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin. He did not depart from them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he gave them continually into the hand of Hazael, king of Syria, and into the hand of Ben-Hadad, the son of Hazael. Then Jehoash sought the favor of the Lord, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, had the king of Syria oppressed them. Therefore the Lord gave Israel a savior, so that they escaped from the hand of the Syrians, and the people of Israel lived in their homes as formerly. Nevertheless, they did not depart from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin, but walked in them. And Hazorah also remained in Samaria. For there was not left to Jehoash an army of more than 50 horsemen, and 10 chariots, and 10,000 footmen. For the king of Syria had destroyed them, and made them like the dust at threshing. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, and all that he did, and his might, are not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Jehoash slept with his father, and they buried him in Samaria, and Joash his son reigned in his place. In the 37th year, Joash, king of Judah, Joash the son of Jehoahaz, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and he reigned 16 years. He also did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin, but he walked in them. Now the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, and the might with which he fought against Amish, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Joash slept with his father, and Jeroboam sat on his throne. And Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Now when Elijah had fallen sick with the illness of which he was to die, Joash, king of Israel, went down to him and wept before him, crying, my father, the chariots of Israel, its horsemen. And Elijah said to him, take a bow and arrow. So he took a bow and arrow. Then he said to the king of Israel, draw the bow. And he drew it. And Elijah laid his hands on the king's hands, and he said, open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elijah said, shoot. And he shot. And he said, the Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Syria. For you shall fight the Syrians in Aphek until you have made an end of them. And he said, take the arrows. And he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, strike the ground with them. And he struck 3 times and stopped. Then the man of God was angry with him and said, you should have struck 5 or 6 times. Then you would have struck down Syria until you made an end of it. But now you will strike down Syria only 3 times. So Elijah died, and they buried him. Now bands of Moabites used to invade the land in the spring of the year. And as a man was being buried, behold, a marauding band was seen, and the man was thrown into the grave of Elijah. And as soon as the man touched the bones of Elijah, he revived and stood on his feet. Now Hazael, king of Syria, oppressed Israel all the days of Jehoahaz. But the Lord was gracious to them, and had compassion on them. And he turned towards them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. and would not destroy them, nor has he cast them from his presence until now. When Hazael, king of Syria, died, Ben-Hadad, his son, became king in his place. Then Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, took again from Ben-Hadad, the son of Hazael, the cities that he had taken from Joash, his father, in war. 3 times Joash defeated him and recovered the cities of Israel. 2 Kings 14. In the 2nd year of Joash the son of Joahaz, king of Israel, Amisha the son of Joash, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoiadan of Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. Yet not like David his father, he did in all things as Joash his father had done. But the high places were not removed. The people still sacrificed and made offerings on the high places. And as soon as the royal power was finally in his hands, he struck down his servants who had struck down the king his father. But he did not put to death the children of the murderers, according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses. When the Lord commanded, fathers shall now be put to death because of their children, nor shall children be put to death because of their fathers, but each one shall die for his own sin. He struck down 10,000 Edomites in the valley of Salt and took Selah by storm and called it Jehukatel, which is its name to this day. Then Amisha sent messages to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us look one another in the face. And Jehoahaz, king of Israel, sent word to Amisha, king of Judah, and Thistle on Lebanon sent to Asada on Lebanon, saying, Give your daughter to my son for a wife. And a wild beast of Lebanon passed by and trampled down the thistle. You have indeed struck down Edom, and your heart has lifted you up. Be content with your glory and stay at home, for why should you provoke trouble so that you fall, you and Judah with you? But Amisha would not listen. So Joash, king of Israel, went up, and he and Amisha, king of Judah, faced one another in battle at Beth-shemesh, which belongs to Judah. And Judah was defeated by Israel, and every man fled to his home. And Jehoash, king of Israel, captured Amisha, king of Judah, the son of Joash, son of Joas, at Beth-shemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem for 400 cubits, for the Ephraim gate to the corner gate. And he seized all the gold and silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the king's house, also hostages, and he returned Samaria. Now the rest of the acts of Joash that he did, and his might, and now he fought with Amisha, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Joash slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel, and Jehoram his son reigned in his place. Amisha the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived 15 years after the death of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel. Now the rest of the deeds of Amisha they are not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Judah. And they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled in Lachish. But they sent after him to Lachish and put him to death there. And they brought him on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Judah took Amisha, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father, Amisha. He built Elith and restored it to Judah after the king slept with his fathers. In the 15 years of Amisha the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam the son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria, and he reigned 41 years. And he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not depart from all the sins of Jeroboam and the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin. He restored the border of Israel from Lebamath as far as the sea of Arabah, according to the word of the Lord, the God of Israel, which he spoke by his servant Joan the son of Amittai, the prophet, who was from Gath-hepher. For the Lord saw that the affliction of Israel was very bitter, for there was none left, bond or free, and there was none to help Israel. But the Lord had not said that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven. So he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam the son of Joash. Now the rest of acts of Jeroboam and all that he did, and his might, how he fought, and how he restored Damascus and Hamath to Judah and Israel, are they not written in the book of Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jeroboam slept with his fathers, the kings of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his place. 2 Chronicles 25:1-28. Elisha was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem, and he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, yet not with a whole heart. And as soon as the royal power was firmly his, he killed his servants who had struck down the king his father. But he did not put their children to death according to what is written in the law, in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded, fathers shall not die because of their children, nor children die because of their fathers, but each one shall die for his own sin. Then Elisha assembled the men of Judah and sent them by fathers' houses under commanders of thousands and of hundreds for all Judah and Benjamin. He mustered those 20 years old and upward, and found that they were 300,000 choice men fit for war, able to handle spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor from Israel for 100 talents of silver. But a man of God came to him and said, O king, do not let the army of Israel go with you, for the Lord is not with Israel, with all these Ephraimites, but go, act, be strong for the battle. Why should you suppose that God will cast you down before the enemy? For God has power to help or to cast down. And Elisha said to the name of God, But what shall we do about the 100 talents that I have given to the army of Israel? The man of God answered, The Lord is able to give you much more than this. Then Elisha discharged the army that had come to him from Ephraim to go home again. And they became very angry with Judah and returned home in fierce anger. But Elisha took courage and led out his people and went to the valley of Salt and struck down 10,000 men of Seir. The men of Judah captured another 10,000 alive and took them to the top of a rock and threw them down from the top of the rock, and they were all dashed to pieces. But the man of the army whom Elisha sent back, not letting them go with him to battle, raided the city of Judah from Samaria to Beth-horon, and struck down 3,000 people in them and took much spoil. After Elisha came from striking down the Amorites, he brought the gods of the men of Seir and set them upon his gods and worshipped them, making offerings to them. Therefore the Lord was angry with Elisha and sent to him a prophet, who said to him, Why have you sought the gods of people who did not deliver their own people from your hand? But as he was speaking, the king said to him, Have we made you a royal counselor? Stop. Why should you be struck down? So the prophet stopped, but said, I know that God has determined to destroy you, because you have done this and have not listened to my counsel. Then Elisha, king of Judah, took counsel and sent to Joash, the son of Jehoaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us look one another in the face. And Joash, the king of Israel, sent word to Elisha, the king of Judah, a thistle on Lebanon sent to Seder on Lebanon, saying, Give your daughter to my son for a wife. And a wild beast of Lebanon passed by and trampled down the thistle. You say, See, I have struck down Edom, and your heart has lifted you up in boastfulness. But now stay at home. Why should you provoke trouble so that you fall, you and Judah with you? But Elisha would not listen, for it was of God in order that he might give them into the hand of their enemies, because they had sought the gods of Edom. So Joash, king of Israel, went up. He and Elisha, king of Judah, faced one another in battle at Beth-shemesh, which belongs to Judah. Now Judah was defeated by Israel, and every man fled to his home. And Joash, king of Israel, captured Amisha, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Amasa of Bethshemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem for 400 cubits, from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate. And he seized all the gold and silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of God. In the care of Obed-Edom, he seized also the treasures of the king's house, also hostages, and he returned to Samaria. And Mesha the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived 15 years after the death of Joash the son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel. Now the rest of the deeds of Amasa, from first to last, are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel? From the time that he turned away from the Lord, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and fled to Lachish. But they sent after him to Lachish, and put him to death there. And they brought him upon horses, and he was buried with his fathers in the city of David.